Hello y'all, and welcome to my second Paladins fan character reveal. I have made such a video about 2 years ago for my own Paya character, Tanya. Link to that is in the description in case you want to give it a look. And today, after close to a year since starting this project, I would like to present you my next fan-made character, Kamúra, the Horror of Kamii.
The Horror of Kamii, a nickname given by the citizens of the humble and independent kingdom of Kamii, located west of the steppes, a single large capital city known for its hospitality and to some known as the Gate to Ascension Peak. Below this great city, however, lies an old secret long forgotten and swallowed by conspiracies. The ruins of a species which had been utterly eradicated by the abyss itself, leaving only a few remains. The Arachnia, a species of humanoid insects of all kinds, shapes, and forms, a culture which barely anyone really knew about as they have hidden themselves away for centuries or even longer. One fateful day, the abyssal portal, which was located right in the heart of the Arachnian civilization, came to life, and out came all the horrors the abyss could bring up. The Arachnia had no chance to fight back such a sudden attack, and despite their best efforts, only a handful remained after a devastating battle. Some of the remaining ones, including the Empress and Emperor, as well as said Emperor's head maid, a lady by the name of Kamúra. With time going by, most of the remaining Arachnia perished. Some left the supposed safety of their underground lands in hopes to find a new home. Kamúra, however, remained and assisted where she could. Not too long after, however, the Empress perished, with the Emperor soon to follow, but not before he could bequeath the Empress's mighty bow, the Widowmaker, to none other than Kamúra. She was to see it as a gratitude for her dedicated services, as well as to allow her to remain as long as possible. Soon, Kamúra was alone, being the only remaining one to survive the abyssal calamity. But this isn't where her story ends. She was fueled by anger and lust for revenge, a lust for pain. She remained in the Arachnian city with the goal of taking on whatever the abyss would throw at her, no matter what. She had nothing to lose anymore. This thirst for vengeance and the inevitable wish to take down as many abyssal creatures as brutal and painful as she possibly could slowly consumed her soul until it had become so bitter it turned into a demon. Kamúra had created her very own spiritual demon. Such a feat comes with benefits. She will far outlive her species' lifespan, becoming very powerful, and she will have as much time as she desires to let her anger out on the abyss. However, that comes at a cost. Kamúra waited decades, no, centuries for the abyss to return to claim her. But it never happened. The overflow of negative emotions had her craving for blood and pain, making her switch her attention to the unsuspecting kingdom right above her doorstep. Long have stories spread around Kamii about supernatural beings terrorizing the citizens, but that was just a myth. Or was it? Over time, Kamúra learned how to separate her soul, or demon, from her body, as well as how to control it. Making use of this, she would do exactly what the myth tells: terrorize the citizens of Kamii, and even go as far as to kidnap unsuspecting and especially non-believing victims and bring them to the dungeons of her home. Who knows what kind of horrors those poor souls have to endure until their inevitable end. Despite Kamúra finding something new to fill her utterly bitter soul with joy, she is and will always have an emptiness within her. A desire to avenge her kind and take on those responsible or be taken by them. Until that day, she won't stop doing what brings joy to her, no matter how cruel it was.
Kamúra is a frontline champion with a base movement speed of 345, that's the same as Strix. She has 4000 base health and would cost as much as any other newly added champion. Kamúra's primary weapon is the Widowmaker, a large bow previously owned by the Arachnian Empress, dealing between 250 and 1000 damage depending on how much it's drawn. The web arrows launched have a rather hefty gravitational drop, even when fully drawn, and a projectile speed of 400. To better imagine this, Cassie's crossbow shots have a projectile speed of 600, so roughly 25% slower than those. It takes 1.65 seconds to fully draw the bow, and it has an ammo capacity of 8 before it has to be reloaded. Kamúra's first ability is Widow's Web. Kamúra throws out a ball of web that then turns into a sticky and durable spider web on whatever surface the ball first touches. It does not stick to champions, shields or deployables, and will rather just ricochet off of them, falling to the ground. The web slows enemies caught on it by 40%. If they stay in contact for more than 3 seconds, they will become rooted for 2 seconds and the web will be destroyed. The web covers a 30 feet area, roughly the size of the control point. It has 1000 health and counts as a deployable, with a duration of 6 seconds. It has a 12-second cooldown. The cooldown starts as soon as the ability is used. Kamúra's second ability is Web Wall. Kamúra uses her spiderweb spinning abilities to create a massive wall made of highly durable web, able to block all incoming damage until the web is destroyed. Web wall can be created between certain mat spaces, such as doorways, narrow hallways, or just 2 walls close to each other, adjusting to them and blocking such a path fully. Web wall has 4000 health, counts as a deployable, has a 0.5 seconds deploy time, slows anyone coming into contact with it by 70%, and is roughly 50% bigger than a Nara's wall. It has a base duration of 5 seconds, but when created between map spaces, lasts 25 seconds. It is possible to walk through the wall, dash through, or teleport past it, as well as traversing it while invulnerable. It has a 14-second cooldown. The cooldown starts after the wall is deployed. Kamúra's third ability, or movement ability, is Horrific Separation. Kamúra separates her soul from her body, allowing her soul demon to exit it under Kamura's control after a 2-second casting duration. The soul demon is able to walk around freely, getting increased jump distance, and is able to walk up walls. The ability can be recasted, allowing Kamúra to appear at the location of the soul demon after a short delay. The player assumes the control of the soul demon, very comparable to Amani's ultimate. While doing so, Kamúra herself stays at the casting position. Soul Demon has 2000 health and counts as a player. It can be crowd controlled by enemies and healed by allies. It has a 300% increased jump distance, and the ability can be recasted, teleporting Kamúra to the position the Soul Demon is in. The ability has a 10-second duration, and the player is unable to attack or use any other ability. If the Soul Demon is killed, the player takes control of Kamúra herself again at the casting position. The ability has a 16-second cooldown. The cooldown starts after Kamúra either teleports to the demon is killed, or the duration runs out. Kamúra has a passive ability called Inner Demon, which has 2 effects. The first effect, Kamúra is able to climb up walls as well as sticking to them, similar to Koga. The second effect, Kamúra receives an aura around her when she is out of combat and at full HP, reducing the first incoming damage or crowd control ability effectiveness by 50%. Simply put, if Inner Demon is active, the first damage she receives is halved, no matter if it's a Strix doing 600 damage or a single flamethrower tick from Fernando doing 17.5. Same goes for crowd control. A 2-second stun is reduced to a 1-second one, a 50% slow to a 25% slow, etc. Kamura's ultimate ability is called Horror's Crawling. Kamúra lets her Inner Demon take over and snaps Widowmaker in half, turning it into 2 blades and using those to slash at her enemies, becoming a melee fighter. She gains the ability to passively heal after taking damage while also becoming a lot more agile. Her primary attack turns into a melee attack, dealing 460 damage, attacking every 0.55 seconds, with an attack range of 18 feet in a cone in front of her, similar to Makoa's ultimate. While her ultimate is active, she also gains 300% increased jump height and jump distance, and heals for 50% of her current out-of-combat healing rate after taking damage for 2 seconds. This can be increased with Veteran. The ultimate has a 15-second duration and won't generate any ultimate charge, only starting to charge once the ultimate duration ran out or she gets killed. Kamura's talents are the following. Her default talent is It's Just a Myth. Recasting Horrific Separation causes a 35 feet wide explosion, silencing and disarming everyone caught in the blast radius for 2 seconds. Her level 2 talent is an Ancient Fear. Attacking Kamura while Inner Demon is active causes the attacker to be feared for 1.25 seconds. Basically, attacking her while her passive shielding is active causes you to be feared for a short time, on top of the 50% damage and crowd control effect reduction. Her level 8 talent is Resistance is Futile. Web Wall now stays until it's destroyed, and the cooldown is reduced by 4 seconds. 2 web walls can be out at the same time. Rather similar to Anara's Tremors, with the exception that she isn't getting 2 charges, but there can still be 2 walls out at the same time. Those walls can stay indefinitely. Placing a new one while the 2 are out, however, will destroy the latter placed one. And finally, I will quickly go over Kamura's loadout cards. Cards for her web wall. Binding of the Ancient Queen. The cooldown of web wall is reduced by 0.5, 1, 1.5 to 2.5 seconds. Web Paladin. Increase the HP of web wall by 200, 400, 600, 800, 1000 HP. Everlasting. Kamura gains 2, 4, 6, 8, 10% damage reduction when within 75 feet of web wall. Horrific Gaze. Enemies getting into contact with web wall are revealed for 1.5, 1.75, 2, 2.25, 2.5 seconds. Her cards for Horrific Separation. Enforced Evil. Increase the HP of Soul Demon by 100, 200, 300, 400 or 500. Soul Guard. While Horrific Separation is active, Kamura gains 5, 10, 15, 20, 25% damage reduction. Widow's Revenge. The cooldown of Soul Separation is reduced by 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% if the Soul Demon is killed. Might of a Myth. The duration of Horrific Separation is increased by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. Her loadout cards for Widow's Web. Quick Weave. Killing a target caught in Widow's Web reduces the cooldown of Widow's Web by 100%. This effect can occur every 25, 22, 19, 16, 13 seconds. Agonic Will. Gain 5, 10, 15, 20, 25% movement speed for 3 seconds after using Widow's Net. For the Swarm. Getting a killing blow on a target slowed or rooted by Widow's Net heals Kamura and all allies who have participated for 175, 350, 525, 700, 875 health. Razor Web. Reduce the cooldown of Web Wall by 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6, 7.5 seconds after killing a target rooted by Widow's Net. And finally, her general loadout cards. Nowhere to Run. Gain 6, 12, 18, 24, 30% movement speed while out of combat. Arachnophobia. Gain 40% faster drawing speed for 2, 2.3, 2.6, 2.9, 3.2 seconds after Inner Demon is broken. Web Weaver. Hitting a fully drawn shot with Widowmaker generates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ammo. The Mighty Widow. Increase your maximum HP by 80, 160, 240, 320, 400 HP. And that concludes my second fan-made character, Kamúra, the Horror of Kamii. I actually, in fact, also have a complete voice pack, and originally I wanted to commission a voice actor to actually bring the character to life. I wasn't unfortunately able to do this, which is also why this video has been delayed for multiple months. But I want to, at some point, come back to this and release it. And with that being said, I want to give out an absolute massive shout out to everyone who assisted me in the making of this character. Marcello, who has helped me a ton with the concept art and general art of the character. Aesel for helping me out with the concept art of the character, Anjamon for lending his gorgeous voice for the lore section of this video, as well as generally helping me out with the concept itself, as well as Kokioto for drawing the ability icons. Another big thanks goes to Pound.com for the inspiration as well as assisting me in creating the kit for the character. I could not have done all of this without you guys. You guys are goats. Link to their Twitter is in the description. Pass these legends a follow if you haven't already. With that being said, I thank you all very much for watching. Please let me know what you think about Kamúra and tell me in the comments. I am very curious. Have a nice day everyone, and as always, stay awesome and most importantly, stay healthy.